Today, we unveil the stories behind the most perilous gangs that once prowled the untamed territories of the Old West. Let's delve into the heart of darkness and uncover what made these gangs the most feared entities of their time. Number 1. The James Younger Gang. The James Younger Gang emerged as a formidable force in the wake of the Civil War, driven by a volatile mix of resentment and dire economic circumstances. Led by the notorious Jesse James, they instilled fear across the heartland of America, striking at the very fabric of law and order. What set the James Younger Gang apart was their audacity. They pioneered the first daylight bank robbery in U.S. history, brazenly raiding the Clay County Savings Association in Liberty, Missouri, on February 13, 1866. This daring heist marked the beginning of their reign of terror, as they continued to target banks, stagecoaches, and trains with ruthless efficiency. But beneath the surface of their criminal exploits lay a complex web of motivations. Many members of the gang were veterans of the Civil War, disillusioned by the aftermath of the conflict. Economic hardship pushed them to the fringes of society, where they found camaraderie and purpose in a life of crime. Yet, despite their infamy, the James Younger Gang operated under a code of honor, often sparing innocent lives and earning the begrudging respect of some communities. They were not mere bandits, they were symbols of defiance against a system they felt had failed them. The legacy of the James Younger Gang lives on in the annals of American folklore, their exploits immortalized in countless books, films, and songs. They remind us of the complexities of history, where heroes and villains blur into shades of gray, and where the pursuit of justice often leads down dark and perilous paths. Number 2. The Wild Bunch. Amidst the fading frontier and encroaching civilization, the Wild Bunch emerged as a defiant force against societal norms. Led by the enigmatic duo of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, this notorious gang etched their name into the annals of history with audacious heists and daring escapades that captured the imagination of the American West. The allure of the Wild Bunch lay not only in their daring exploits, but also in their ability to outmaneuver law enforcement agencies at every turn. They executed a series of train robberies spanning the vast expanse of the West, leaving authorities perplexed and communities in awe of their brazenness. One of their most legendary feats was the holdup of the Union Pacific Overland Flyer near Wilcox, Wyoming, on June 2, 1899. This daring robbery, marked by meticulous planning and swift execution, catapulted the Wild Bunch to the zenith of their criminal career and solidified their reputation as the most elusive outlaws of their time. But behind the facade of infamy lay a complex tapestry of motivations. The members of the Wild Bunch were not mere criminals, they were rebels fighting against the tide of progress that threatened to engulf the last vestiges of the Old West. In their eyes, they represented a romanticized ideal of freedom and independence, resonating deeply with those disillusioned by the relentless march of civilization. Yet, for all their bravado and daring escapades, the Wild Bunch faced their fair share of challenges and setbacks. Their lifestyle was fraught with danger, and their days were numbered as law enforcement agencies intensified their efforts to bring them to justice. The legacy of the Wild Bunch endures not merely as a tale of criminality, but as a testament to the enduring spirit of the American frontier. They were outlaws, yes, but they were also symbols of defiance and rebellion against a changing world, immortalized in countless books, films, and songs that continue to captivate audiences to this day. The Wild Bunch's influence extended far beyond their criminal exploits. They became folk heroes, celebrated for their audacity and resourcefulness in the face of adversity. Their legend lives on, serving as a reminder of the untamed spirit that once defined the American West. Number 3. The Lincoln County Regulators. During the chaotic era of the Lincoln County War in the late 19th century, the Lincoln County Regulators emerged as a vigilante group in New Mexico Territory. They were born out of the murder of John Tunstall, a wealthy English rancher and businessman, who was killed by agents of a rival faction led by James Dolan. The Regulators, initially composed of around 40 members, were primarily young men seeking revenge for Tunstall's death. Led by figures like Billy the Kid and Dick Brewer, they aimed to enforce their version of justice in the lawless frontier. Their most infamous action was the siege of the Lincoln County Courthouse on February 18, 1878. In retaliation for the killing of Tunstall, the Regulators, armed and determined, stormed the courthouse, resulting in the deaths of Sheriff William Brady and others associated with Dolan's faction. Despite their initial intentions of seeking justice, the Regulators quickly became embroiled in a cycle of violence and retaliation. Their actions led to a series of bloody skirmishes known as the Lincoln County War, which resulted in numerous deaths on both sides. The exact number of casualties during the Lincoln County War remains uncertain, but estimates suggest that around 20 people lost their lives during the conflict, including both Regulators and their adversaries. The legacy of the Lincoln County Regulators is a complex one. While they initially sought to avenge the murder of John Tunstall and bring law and order to the frontier, their actions ultimately contributed to the lawlessness and violence that plagued the region during that time. In popular culture, the story of the Lincoln County Regulators, particularly their leader Billy the Kid, has been romanticized and immortalized in numerous books, movies, and folk songs. However, their true legacy remains a subject of debate among historians and enthusiasts of the American Old West. Number 4. The Dalton Gang. The Dalton Gang, notorious for their brazen criminal exploits, epitomized the lawlessness that characterized the Old West. Comprising the Dalton brothers, Bob, Grat, and Emmett, along with other accomplices, they embarked on a spree of bank robberies and train heists that struck fear into the hearts of frontier communities. Their criminal career reached a climax with the infamous Coffeyville Raid on October 5, 1892. In a bold and audacious move, the Dalton Gang attempted to simultaneously rob 2 banks in Coffeyville, Kansas. However, their meticulously planned heist was met with fierce resistance from the townspeople. The citizens of Coffeyville, unwilling to succumb to the Dalton Gang's reign of terror, bravely fought back. A fierce gun battle ensued, resulting in the deaths of several gang members and the capture of others. Among the casualties were Bob and Grat Dalton, whose lives ended in a hail of bullets on the streets of Coffeyville. The Coffeyville Raid marked a turning point in the Dalton Gang's criminal career. It not only brought an end to their reign of terror, but also served as a stark reminder of the risks and consequences of their lawless actions. However, the legacy of the Dalton Gang extends beyond their criminal exploits. They have been immortalized in countless books, movies, and folk tales as symbols of the wild and untamed spirit of the Old West. Yet, beneath the veneer of outlaw glamour lies a darker reality, one of violence, tragedy, and the inexorable march of progress. The story of the Dalton Gang serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us of the dangers of succumbing to lawlessness and the importance of upholding justice in even the most challenging of times. While their exploits may have faded into history, their legacy continues to echo through the annals of Western lore, a testament to the enduring fascination with the darker side of the American frontier.